So I'd like to take you on a virtual tour of this lovely farmhouse available near Brigueuil. That also includes a barn. It's located just off a small quiet country road in a small hamlet just a few kilometres from Brigueuil. Brigueuil itself offers a range of facilities including doctors, bakers, butchers, small shop and a cafe bar. So the property itself is this farmhouse here and the attached barn and the barn to the side. There is a neighbouring property to the front, but this section here belongs to the property. There is a well that currently provides the water to the property. However, we're given to understand that the neighbour properties do have mains water. This is the well attached to this side of the barn. There's a small area for storage. And again, just so you're aware of the neighbouring property. So this is, we'll come into the actual garden area. So the plot is over 1,000 square metres, and this is the barn. There's a small lean-to, and then the barn itself. You'll see over here there's some outbuildings. These belong to the neighbouring property, and here at the back there is an old ruined barn that belongs to the neighbours. We're not sure what their long-term plans are, but looking at it, I think it's beyond possible repairs, so I would imagine at some point it will be taken down. Belonging to the property is this structure here, which was an old piggery, and then you have the house itself. So if we sort of take a wander around the land, just so that you're aware of what's included. The geomet has been out recently just to mark it up. So the two piggeries here, and then you'll see the line going across in front of that old barn. And then you've got, just follow the line round, you'll see that there's enough access to take you into the rear of the barn. So if you are looking to be able to store cars or motorbikes or anything like that, you've got plenty of access into it. And just so you're aware of what your outlook, these buildings do belong to the neighbours. And the property was a working farm, but it's recently been split up following the passing of the owner. So the actual demarcation of the land actually does go, you can see here, you'll see where that tape is, so it does actually go through this, so this section of land does belong to you. And then this is the rear of the barn, so it has got a small lean-to, and you can see, if I sort of try and zoom in here, there has been a couple of tiles just slipped on the barn. So the lean-to itself is a very simple looking construction. Maybe something that a new owner would want to renew or remove completely, but would be an ideal place for storage. Or if you did work and converted the barn, it would be a perfect area to sit out on. So you can actually enter the barn from this way. And I said it was an old working farm, so you'll see that there's quite a lot of old machinery. We want to just look up onto the roof. You can see that in general, there is a few tiles obviously that have slipped, but overall it's actually not in bad condition. Then if we go back out into the garden area and have a look at the house itself. So as I mentioned, it had previously been a working farm and it was owned and occupied by a farmer. And unfortunately it's been empty for a number of years. The fosse is located over here. However, we do not expect it to conform to current standards, so it would be expected to have to replace it. So if we enter into the farmhouse, now as mentioned in the advert, there is smoke damage. However, the damage is only smoke, it's not fire. You can see from the plastic there's been no melting. So this had previously been a larger room, but it's been subdivided into two. I'd imagine most new owners would look to remove this and reinstate it into one large room. So that's the room of the kitchen, and this is also where the old fire had been, and this is also where a lot of the smoke damage seems to be. Currently there is electricity and the water is supplied by the well. From the kitchen area, we go into another room. It would offer a multitude of potential, whether it's an office, kitchen larder, but it's a good size room, and you've got your staircase within it. What's lovely is these tiles actually come from the village itself. You also have the original sink, so it is lovely. It retains a lot of the original features as well. Into what was used as a bedroom. So it is a very large room. And at some point a shower room was added. So that's the downstairs. Now, upstairs would be perfect for conversion. So you see there's the original stairs and takes you up the stairs to the attic. So this is a very, very large area. You've got plenty of height from the beams, so it does lend itself with necessary permissions granted to convert into living accommodation. The good thing is you already have 4 windows So you wouldn't have to create additional openings, which makes life a lot easier. And what I'll do is then have a look up at the roof space. Imagine over here there's some tile slips that's allowing some water to come through, but otherwise it appears to be dry. So that's the upstairs. As I said, perfect for conversion. You know, you could easily make 2 bedrooms, possibly 2 en-suites up here. And then back downstairs. And then back outside.